A troubling case out of Glendale, Arizona, caught on body cam. Police confronting a man at a traffic stop. His two young children are in the back seat at the time. They then taser him more than 10 times. We want to warn you, what you're about to see is graphic. Here's ABC's Marcus Moore.
It was a violent encounter captured on police body cam. A passenger, Johnny Wheatcroft, is about to be tased, his attorneys say, 11 times.
A troubling case result coming out of Glendale, Arizona recently in the police brutality case of Johnny Wheatcroft, a middle-aged white male and father who was tased 11 times while handcuffed, one even in his testicles, ouch, for an alleged minor traffic violation. Wheatcroft has not received justice in the lawsuit against Matthew Schneider, a Glendale police officer, for the extreme use of force and brutality against Wheatcroft in the alleged minor traffic violation case.
Nobody has their ID on them? No.
The July 2017 incident now coming to light in a federal lawsuit. What began, police say, as a turn signal violation, quickly escalating.
What's your name?
Why am I even being asked?
Concerned he's hiding evidence, an officer lays hands on Wheatcroft.
Relax.
I am! Dude, stop!
Officers deploying their tasers struggle to cuff Wheatcroft, but look closely. He's still buckled into his seatbelt. This all taking place with his wife and young sons in the back seat.
The original incident, occurring in July of 2017, happened after police confronted a pulled over Wheatcroft and his family for an alleged lack of turn signal use, and only escalated from there when Wheatcroft, according to police, questioned the pullover, and police responded with aggressive force, escalating to tasing Wheatcroft 11 times, even once by pulling down his pants and tasing him in the testicles. Ouch.
Daddy!
Yeah.
The struggle lasting several minutes. Police say during the incident, Wheatcroft's wife hit an officer in the head. The lawsuit also claiming Wheatcroft was tased in the groin area. One officer appearing to taunt him as he's cuffed.
Keep fighting, you're gonna get it again! You want it again? Shut your mouth!
Police body cam footage shows Wheatcroft's family crying out of concern in the back seat, asking if their father would be okay, while Wheatcroft, still tangled in his seatbelt, is unbuckled by his son from the back seat after police yank him out of the car. According to the police aggressor and officer, Matthew Schneider, he was suspicious that Wheatcroft stuffed something between the seats and decided to take aggressive action.
In the lawsuit, Wheatcroft claiming he was the victim of excessive force and wrongful arrest. And Tom, Wheatcroft was charged with aggravated assault, and he spent months in jail, but his attorneys say those charges were later dropped. And the Glendale Police Department also suspended one officer for 3 days without pay over this incident, and he is reportedly still on the force.
The original incident, occurring in 2017, prompted the family of Wheatcroft to sue Glendale, Arizona's police department and Officer Matthew Schneider, and have only recently gotten a response or lack thereof. The family has waited 5 years for a result in the case against the Glendale police officer, Matthew Schneider. And now, 5 years later, Schneider has been charged with 5 counts of aggravated assault, only pleading guilty to 1 count of disorderly conduct, a class 1 misdemeanor, has only been fined $100 and will not serve any jail time or probation. I imagine the family is devastated with the results. A mediocre result coming after the boys in blue were working really hard to hush the story from headlines saying that they would discuss it no further. Schneider was thereby forced into an early retirement, barring him from serving and being a police officer in Arizona unless he gets recertified. However, this does not bar Schneider from becoming a police officer in an adjacent state like New Mexico or Utah or Nevada. Everything about this case makes me sick to my core because it's yet another example of rampant police corruption and brutality, letting the officers and aggressors off scot-free without consequences, devastating a family and victim. This is just another case of rampant police corruption in officers who clearly incite violence against civilians being let off scot-free without consequences. This case is a bombshell story though, because it makes a very important point that we all need to remember. Police violence crosses racial boundaries. It affects everyone. However, it does affect Black and brown folk at significantly higher rates compared to white folk. But police violence affects everyone, regardless of skin color, and that's often missed from our national discourse. We all, as an American public, should be outraged at every single case of police violence, whether it is a white man, a Black man, Hispanic man, regardless. All of this affects us because it is pitting a dynamic of the police against the civilians. Wheatcroft, obviously, as you can see from the body cam footage and the police cam footage, did not do anything wrong. How many more Johnny Wheatcrofts? How many more Tyree Nichols? How many more cases of rampant police corruption and violence does there have to be before we do something, before we take action? Whether that's defunding the police and reallocating resources to other programs, or increasing police training and maybe even increasing police funding for training, or just acknowledging maybe all cops are bad, ACAB, and deciding to abolish the police all in general. What do you think in the comments? Regardless, something has to happen. The business as usual status quo of our police force brutalizing citizens is not okay. Something needs to give. What do you think? Put it in the comments below. We would love to hear. This entire incident is yet another example of police abusing their power, using state funds to pay off victims while the party responsible can still get a job somewhere else, like in an adjacent state, like New Mexico or Nevada, and continuing the same cycle of bullshit policing. What do you think? And thank you for joining me on The Breakdown. I'm Scott Johnson. You can find me on TikTok where I do deep dives into political stories and commentary. It's pretty lit, not gonna lie. The link to my TikTok handle is in the description below, along with my YouTube, The Gaze, which is where I post my longer form content. And most importantly, please do not forget to subscribe to The Breakdown. The Breakdown has amazing hosts and commentators. I really suggest that you start binge watching these videos. You know you want to.